Hello and welcome to Responsible Business. In this week's episode, flying on jets that use sustainable fuels, building the next generation of Europe's high-speed rail networks, and encouraging the shipping industry to be more environmentally conscious. The ability to fly effectively and conveniently between nations has been the catalyst of global economic growth. It's broken down cultural barriers like no other transport sector. But this progress has come at a cost. Each year, the commercial aviation industry produces nearly 700 million tonnes of carbon dioxide, nearly 2% of all man-made CO2 emissions.
The aviation industry has identified biofuels as one of the most promising ways to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions. Biofuels could partially, and hopefully one day fully, replace carbon-intensive petroleum fuels, and over time, enable the industry to reduce its carbon footprint significantly and become less dependent on fossil fuels that will eventually be depleted. KLM is one airline that is actively pushing the development of sustainable aviation fuels and strongly believes that in the coming decades, biofuels will assume a prominent position in the field of sustainable aviation. KLM sets the standard in the airline industry.
KLM is proud to be a leader in green flying. If we want to become even more greener and want to continue to lead, we realize we can only do this on short term by making the fuel greener. The aircrafts are not renewed that fast, so we need the fuel to be green if we really want to achieve something in terms of the environment on short notice.
Creating a viable market for sustainable jet fuels can only be achieved by combining essential expertise. It is for this reason that KLM, Royal Dutch Airlines, the North Sea Group and Spring Associates have joined forces and founded Sky Energy in 2009. Sky Energy has the mission to help develop the market for sustainable and affordable jet fuels. KLM Royal Dutch Airlines conducted the first commercial flight worldwide in June 2011 and continued with a set of flights between Amsterdam and Paris beginning from September 2011.
Net als bij natuurbehoud of om klimaatverandering tegen te gaan, weten we dat business as usual scenario's niet meer werken. Dat geldt ook in de luchtvaartindustrie. We moeten op zoek naar schonere, nieuwe, alternatieve brandstoffen. Daarom ondersteunt het Wereld Natuurfonds de zoektocht van de KLM naar een schonere, nieuwe generatie biobrandstof.
To be viable, fuels need to be mass-produced at a low cost and with minimal environmental impact.
Certain biofuels have negative side effects, like deforestation in other countries, the use of sparse drinking water in dry countries, or the use of agricultural land that should be used to produce food for poor people on the other side of the world. We don't use these biofuels. We only use biofuels that are pre-checked by a sustainability board of all kinds of organizations. When they say, check, this is a good one, then we use it.
With the success of biofuels recently being certified for aviation, KLM and Sky Energy have now paved the way for carbon emissions to be greatly reduced across the industry. Now, due to recent advances in research and technology, aviation biofuel should become available for commercial use within 5 years. As well as the environment, KLM is committed to other areas of sustainability. One of the ways to work with NGOs' efforts concerns the program KLM Air Cares.
KLM Air Cares is a program I'm really very enthusiastic about. We started it in 1999, and it is a program that is aimed at helping the countries and the people in the countries we fly to. We fly to many underdeveloped nations, and so much can still be done over there. And what is good is that we don't only collect money, and our customers collect money, but we also do the work ourselves.
The VU University Medical Centre and KLM Air Cares collaborate to create long-lasting improvements to medical care for children in Kenya. One of the projects that took place during 2011 was the Doctor-to-Doctor programme, where doctors and nurses use frequent flyer miles donated by passengers to fly to Kenya.
Passengers are donating frequent flyer points to the program. And that's why we can fly so frequently to Kenya, because our doctors and nurses are using those donated points. We are very glad that KLM Health Service is a part of the program, because they give the vaccinations to the staff who are going over to Kenya to prevent they get any tropical illness. Another part of the KLM is KLM Cargo, and they make it possible for us to bring in stuff, medical stuff, like incubators or dialysis machines, what otherwise wasn't possible to bring over because of the costs.
Paediatricians and nephrologists from the VU University Medical Centre travel to Kenya, volunteering to help colleagues at the Moi Referral and Teaching Hospital in Eldoret, Kenya, to help them broaden their medical skills. The VU University Medical Centre also sends medical literature to the teaching hospital and invites Kenyan doctors to Amsterdam to amass knowledge and skills.
The staff of this hospital performs miracles. They are incredibly dedicated to their patients and they gained already a lot of experience and knowledge. But as often in the third world countries, there's a lack of manpower, money and medical equipment. So we are very happy that we have been able to donate medical equipment like dialysis machines and incubators.
CSR is fundamental for KLM. We realize that we have to fly in an ever more green way, and we want to remain a leader in green flying. We also see at all these destinations we fly to, how much social work still can be done. And this is what we want to achieve by being a leader in CSR.
KLM has shown that not only can the impact on the environment be reduced through the introduction of biofuels across the entire industry, but also the vital role the industry can play in corporate social responsibility schemes.
Having set a record over 570 kilometres per hour with the French TGV, the high-speed train is one of the safest, cleanest and fastest modes of transport in Europe. In our next report, we look at how various high-speed networks are collaborating together to expand for the future.
Me llamo José Manuel Sojo, soy maquinista jefe de tren AVE y trabajo aquí en Renfe en la línea de alta velocidad desde el año 2005.
Welcome on board the AVE high-speed train in Madrid. Train driver José Manuel Sojo is ready to set off for a journey to Malaga of 530 kilometers or 2.5 hours. We are riding on one of the fastest and safest means of transport in the world. This is not just an ordinary train, but a high-speed train, especially designed to reach an average speed of more than 250 kilometers an hour.
Prácticamente lo que haces es supervisando, ¿no? y adaptándote a las indicaciones que te va dando. Es más seguro, más que las líneas convencionales.
This map shows how fast several European countries developed their high-speed network and collaborated to launch international high-speed lines. In the future, this high-speed network will expand even further, thanks to the efforts of the European Union and the Trans-European Transport Networks policy. The story of the high-speed train in Europe begins in France in 1972 with the first experimental train à grande vitesse. In 1981, the TGV Paris Sud-Est began the first regular high-speed service. Since then, the technology has got better and better. The TGV even established a world speed record of 574.8 kilometers an hour.
Je m'appelle Agnès, je fais le trajet Bruxelles-Lille et Lille-Bruxelles 4 fois par semaine pour me rendre à mon travail à Lille. C'est parce que c'est pour promouvoir le TGV. C'est très sympathique de travailler aussi dans un autre pays que celui où on réside. Enfin, moi je suis belge et je trouve ça très agréable de travailler en France. C'est vrai qu'on n'a pas l'impression parfois que c'est une autre culture parce qu'on se sent quand même très proche, mais en y travaillant, oui, on se rend compte que c'est une autre culture et il y a des richesses qu'on peut s'apporter l'un l'autre.
Hola, yo soy Bea, soy de Toledo y he venido a Málaga desde Madrid en el AVE para pasar el fin de semana y visitar la playa con mi amiga Marta.
Hola, yo soy Marta, soy de Madrid y nada, he venido con Beatriz, por la mañana hemos cogido el AVE.
precio quizás sí es un poco más elevado que pueda ser otro medio de transporte, pero realmente...
Hombre, si lo comparas con un avión, es más o menos lo mismo. Y es más cómodo.
Es más directo y no suele haber los mismos retrasos que a lo mejor en el avión. Y realmente pagas un poco más por el confort y la comodidad que te brinda el llegar al centro de la ciudad y no a otro lado.
Because the different train operators work in several countries, European legislation is needed to ensure the interoperability between the various national navigation, logistic and safety systems.
L'Europe est quand même initiatrice de modifications, vu qu'elle incite les différents réseaux à travailler ensemble et à élaborer une technologie commune de façon à pouvoir faire rouler un train de Brest jusque, par exemple, Berlin ou voire plus loin, sans rupture de charge et avec la même réglementation.
The ERTMS, or European Railway Traffic Management System, is specially designed to ensure that the different types of high-speed trains can run safely on all European tracks.
My name is Brenda Zimmerman. I am in the communications and events industry, and due to the nature of my job, I'm required to travel a lot through many cities of Europe. It saves you time because you don't have to calculate the time to and from the airport. Normally the central stations are right in the heart of the city, so it drops you off right in the center of the city. And from St. Pancras International you have 6 of the undergrounds in London straight there and 7 of the mainline rail services as well. So it's very practical.
Hi there, John. How are you? Please don't forget to... I think traveling with a high-speed train, especially in the first class, offers a lot of advantages for business travelers, starting from the wireless internet access to international newspapers. At the same time, you also offered complimentary food and beverage services.
If we look at the projections of how the industry of high-speed trains will develop in the coming decades, we see that the amount of passengers per kilometre will be almost 6 times higher by 2030. The network will almost triple in size, and on the amount of CO2 emissions that will be saved, we see a progressive trend.
Cette idée est bonne, de toute façon ça répond à un besoin. Les gens maintenant circulent, veulent que ça aille vite, on va d'un pays à un autre. Et le but, ça reste quand même de faciliter ces échanges. Donc nous, au niveau des chemins de fer, de toute façon, tout est fait de façon à répondre à cette demande.
Shipping is the lifeblood of the global economy. Without it, intercontinental trade and the import and export of manufactured goods and affordable foods would be impossible. However, the industry has been slow to the wake-up call of environmental sustainability, but things are changing.
This is the port of Singapore. Singapore has long been associated with the sea and maritime trade. What started out as a small port some 190 years ago is one of the world's busiest ports today. As a major hub port, Singapore has substantive interests in protecting the marine environment and ensuring that shipping is environmentally responsible. Hence, the Maritime and Port Authority of Singapore introduced the Maritime Singapore Green Initiative.
From the point of view of being responsible ship owners, I think it is our job to ensure that the environment is protected, not only for this generation but also for future generations. Hence, this is a very good initiative by MPA to start off this green ship initiative.
The Maritime Singapore Green Initiative comprises 3 programs. The first 2 are the Green Technology and Green Ship programs. The Green Technology program aims to encourage local maritime companies to develop and adopt green technologies through co-funding. The Green Ship program, on the other hand, provides incentives to ship owners who adopt energy-efficient ship designs that reduce fuel consumption and carbon dioxide emissions. Bunkercraft operator Hong Lam Marine has opted for more environmentally friendly diesel-electric propulsion systems for its new bunker tankers, which would reduce emissions and noise pollution.
The importance of switching from mechanical to electric is cost effectiveness. So we are able to save 30% of consumption of fuel. You got all these gases, that carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases that can be reduced once these fuel are used less.
The Green Port Programme, under the initiative, aims to encourage ocean-going ships calling at the Singapore port to reduce the emission of pollutants like sulfur oxides and nitrogen oxides. Ships that burn clean fuels with low sulfur within the port are offered a 15% discount on port dues. Maersk Line makes around 500 port calls in Singapore every year. It has started switching to low sulfur fuel since July 2011, and to date, around 80% of its vessels calling at Singapore have switched from heavy fuel oil to low sulfur fuel when they are within port limits.
So by reducing our oil use, we also improve our CO2 footprint, where our target is to improve it by 25% by 2020. On low sulfur, we are looking at reducing our impact in Singapore by 65% by this fuel switch, which is happening at the moment.
Other maritime companies in Singapore are also looking into making the port operations more sustainable by adopting environmentally friendly equipment and practices. One example is PSA's rubber-tired gantry cranes being retrofitted with devices that regulate the engine speed according to load and help to reduce fuel consumption during idle periods. Trials have shown an overall reduction of 12 to 15% in fuel usage. The Green Technology Programme aims to encourage local maritime companies to develop and adopt green technologies through co-funding of up to half of qualifying costs. MPA will set aside $20 million from the Maritime Innovation and Technology Fund for this programme. Environmental challenges are some of the most critical challenges facing the maritime industry today. The size and scale of shipping means that the environmental impact of shipping is not insignificant. However, with every small and steady step being taken, the Maritime and Port Authority of Singapore is confident of bringing us closer to a greener environment.
Did you know that road traffic injuries are the leading cause of death worldwide in young people aged between 10 and 24 years? Each year, nearly 400,000 people die on the world's roads under the age of 25. On average, that's more than 1,000 each day.
Tristar is a transport and logistics company based in the United Arab Emirates. Established in 1998, the company has grown from a relatively small local company to one of the largest road tanker fleets in the Middle East. With an ever-increasing amount of road accidents every year, Tristar felt it was important to promote and to educate society on road safety and awareness. Because of this, the company began to actively sponsor campaigns to promote roadshare safety with communities.
Transport is one of our core activities, and therefore we have a moral obligation to ensure that our trucks are not the cause of any road accident or not a hazard on the road. And secondly, we also owe it to the community to ensure that we promote road safety within the communities in which we operate. Every day we read about so many lives being lost due to road accidents, and we feel that we have a moral obligation to promote road safety in the community so that we can make the place better for the residents and the community in which we live.
It is known that children retain habits that they learn during their early years, so a programme was launched to educate young school children about road safety. The campaign was named My First Licence, I Know My Road Rules, and around 5,000 students aged 4 to 8 years old from 15 participating schools were targeted.
It is the business of each and everybody of we people to make sure our children are safe in this country. When they are going out with their parents, on their way to school, as a pedestrian or in the bus, they have to be careful about themselves and have to be safe and make the journey comfortable. So I feel we should educate them from the very beginning the simple signs of road safety so that they can be the champions of safe journey in their life.
Each session includes a road safety lecture from experts, followed by a road safety quiz. Since the campaign was aimed at familiarising students on road safety rules, children were asked to drive a pedal car. By following all the basic road safety rules, such as road signs, zebra crossings, traffic signals and roundabouts, it is hoped that students will get a real hands-on feel of what to expect once driving.
What happened in school today?
We were learning about safety rules.
Okay.
On the road.
Okay. What do the 3 signals say about safety rules?
Red light, yellow light and green light.
Okay. What does green light say?
Go.
Okay. What did your friends say about your driving lessons?
I was very good in driving.
Okay. So you're soon going to hold a license?
Yes, ma'am.
At the end of each session, students were issued replica driving licenses, bearing their photo, name, age and school name. The driving licenses were even endorsed by the Dubai police, so that students would remember the first lesson on road safety and build a foundation for becoming safe road users and promote road safety.
CSR and other initiatives that contribute to sustainable development will continue to be part of our business plans. And as we grow our business, we see these initiatives spreading around as we encourage our leaders to be involved in community projects, social developments, and environmentally friendly projects.
Tristar's efforts to improve society continue further afield outside of the United Arab Emirates. In Sudan, where Tristar has recently been successfully operating under the challenging conditions, it was noted that the nearby village from Juba City did not seem to have ample schools to provide quality education to children. Realising the fact that schools are the doorstep of the basic framework of education, Tristar decided to construct a primary school in the Yapa village. A school building with 3 classrooms and other facilities was constructed in a short time period of 4 months in 2006 and houses around 60 students each semester.
Since that school was built in 2006, and I'm proud to say it was built by our own people, being involved in the construction and delivering the school. Today the school, which started as just a primary school, we have now added also a secondary school, and we have more than 500 students in that school. We continue to support the school by giving them stationery and other material for the students.
We thank the Tristar company, organization, who had come and giving us the assistance. First, they begin by building the school. Next, now they are giving us our support of access to the young kids, which is the future of this community.
Elsewhere in southern Pakistan, unusually heavy monsoon rains submerged fields and forced thousands of residents from their homes in the summer of 2011. Tristar realised the gravity of this issue and mobilised its Pakistan office to join hands with the government and help flood victims. The disaster not only led to loss in terms of human casualties and large-scale displacement, but also destroyed 3 million acres of crops and left 3 million people still in need of food assistance. The idea for Tristar was not just to donate money for charity, but also to physically go to these places and to distribute essential goods to help support people's livelihoods.
Our vision is to be a global player in the liquid logistics business. This pursuit will take us to all different parts of the country and the world as we look to extend our geographical footprint.
Today, the impact of corporate social responsibility is beginning to be seen in communities throughout the world, from human rights and labour practices to healthcare and the environment. Being an affiliate of UN Global Compact, Tristar has continued to commit itself to serve the communities in which the company lives and works.
Well, that's it for today's show. Thank you for watching Responsible Business. We'll see you next time.